Hi YouTube. Hope you're doing good. I'm doing pretty good. I spoke with my third born granddaughter today and her mom for a while, 13 minutes. That was nice. And then I had some stuff I had to get done, and we'll talk again. Her Facebook got hacked. I thought she just dumped me, but it's like no. So yeah, and I usually don't answer my telephone, and she couldn't find my number because it had been a while where she was calling a bunch, and I didn't feel good enough to really be talking on the phone every day or even like at somebody else's access, that type of. So it's like, yeah, so I kept it to a minimal on Facebook, the contact, which is kind of how I am anyway. So, but it was good talking to them both. So, yeah. Anyway, it's pretty nice out today compared to what it has been, like single digits, but it's supposed to be like near 30 degrees, which if you live um, where I think you use Celsius thermometer and we're Fahrenheit if I'm uh or maybe I have no idea what I'm talking about. I forget, but I used to know there was like a 20-degree difference. We freeze at 32, and I think the other calculation is like 46, or I don't, maybe I'm backwards, but it's like a 20-degree difference or 17 somewhere, I do believe, somewhere in that. But I can't remember if it was up or down, the difference. But either way. But yeah, it wasn't melting today, but it might tomorrow or the next day. But we're supposed to be getting some sleet, so if that freezes, that can be dangerous for people. And speaking of dangerous for people, just a minute. Yeah, I was talking yesterday about the copper and the supplement dangers, and even I'm assuming that copper fit or whatever copper wear I should say um, might have problems for some people too. I don't know. Just like any other material, if it's not good for your skin. So um, I've just been thinking about these things, like the accumulation of that in our system and us being like a Tesla coil. Did you know that you can coil up, and there's a YouTube video about it? Um, Several people made different tightly coiled um, copper wire, and you can literally pull electricity out of the air. So if you think about it, if we have all that in our systems and we're shaped like a Tesla or we're shaped like a coil, what is it, a toroid? Um, then we can literally draw energy out of the ether, out of the air into ourselves. And being that some people feel like you even get like downloads from the sun or the moon or whatever, being like a receiver, um, could have some dangers with this magic potion that they've got out there and the towers that they have for directed internet, is what they say. If you know where I'm going with that, you've heard all the stories and everything, but the extra copper in our system, from what I can tell, and this is what I'm thinking too. I used to make jewelry in my bedroom out of copper, carving it and stamping it, hammering it with different tools and that type of thing. So it's kind of it's not as hard as, say, like silver, although it's a molten metal mixture to make it. it's got more air in it, basically, and makes it a softer, more pliable metal than some. And so that tells me that it has more, it's less dense, so it has more air in it. And that's kind of how the human body is too. So if you think, well, like you're not one packaged coil, that's what's inside us, and that's what our blood can carry, heavy metals, iron, um, copper, nickel, those types of things, um, mercury, different things that we need to detox from. So if you have like exposure to what I'm just talking about through any kind of serum that you had to have put in you, there's detox ways to get that and alleviate those symptoms out of your system, is what I'm getting at. So I just thought I'd bring it to your attention, like you already are that coil, and extra heavy metals in our body isn't a good idea. We get trace amounts of copper through vegetables like spinach and asparagus, and some that I really have to stay away from because of my allergies to metals. And I've always said I feel like a barometer. It's like whatever I'm allergic to, it's not much longer, that say, like, if I make a video like this, then they'll make a great big study about it or something. But it's like I already told everybody ahead of time that I feel like the barometer, to because I went through it at it earlier and got it out on the internet. Well, there's other people speaking out about these things too in different ways. That's why I was thinking I was going to show you an exercise I do for a core exercise. Maybe I will. Let me know if you're interested. It's really hard, but yet easy. And what it is, and you can take it into squats or go backwards with it, but you stand on one leg and you bring your leg up to your chest or in front of you, and then put it out straight while you're standing on one leg, and then alternate and do the other leg. You can use a chair or a counter for stabilization if you need that. And when I have broken toes, I definitely needed to work out my body, but I had to be very careful. So I took assistance where I needed it. So if you'd be interested in me showing you that core exercise, and then actually too, I don't do this anymore because I really hurt myself with that horse accident. But I used to be on one leg, extend it, and then squat and come back up with my legs still out. I don't do that one anymore, but I do go like, um, well, in yoga, it's called warrior pose, but you're on one leg, then you put your arm out like Superman and your other leg out in the back of you. Now you can have your arm straight to your side going sideways. You're still flying like Superman, or you can like put it up and turn your head up towards the sky. And that's warrior pose with your leg out, your arm up, and your head tilted back. That's core strength. That's what I'm talking about. But I've broke it down to the easiest one that can be used along with assistance, like I say, if that's what you need. So, and there's some things that I used to do that I wish I had spotters by me for it. Like I love to walk on my hands, and I know I still could do it, but I don't want to if nobody's there. It's like, help, I smashed myself and I can't get up. So I don't know. After my shoulder and my arm being broke, and I've had a broken wrist and cut and different things, so I had to heal and I still could do acrobats and um, gymnastics type stuff. But um, after that last one, it's like, yeah, no, I don't know. Or I just go and walk up to a wall and stand on my hands next to the wall. But even that right now, it's like, nah, not without somebody watching me, not after. Because with osteoarthritis, it's like, even today, I get these pains in the middle of my bones, not at any joint or anything, literally in the bone. So it's like, and the nerve endings around it will be affected on the outside, but I can feel it coming from the inside. It's the weirdest thing, but it looks kind of, when you get way older and you have this disease, it's like your bone turns into like honeycomb type stuff, if it's real bad. So hopefully I can just keep my muscles strong around that, so I don't crumble. And that's what it's all about, is just staying like Sean Baker MD says, make it so you're harder to kill. And that basically, and when you get older, you make it so you'll live a better life too, being stronger. So really, and then if you do have an injury, it's easier to recover from, and you'll still be strong from working up to that point. So if you're just beginning to get some enthusiastic vibes or something, and maybe just going for a walk when you're not feeling good, and everybody goes through things in different stages of their lives, and that's why I'm sort of hesitant on what might be good at 64 might not be good for a 50-year-old. The 50-year-old might need to just go for a walk, or what's good for 40 might not be good for 50 or 60, but maybe for 64. What I'm saying is, we kind of go through um, changes in our life all the way through, with the way we each have to treat our own bodies, and everybody's different like that. So, whatever stage you're going through. So, oh, I had, it's, I don't know if I was awake. I think I was awake thinking about it, and then I was sleeping, dreaming about it, and it had to become part of my video. It was part of what I had to stress upon today, upon the public's minds and hearts. So, just a minute here. Um, in my dream, there was a bunch of children around, and it seemed like a big audience of adults and everything too. And God was telling me, ask them all this question, and look at the children's faces and in their eyes, and even the adults will be moved, and only the most accomplished liars will be able to cover this up. Ask the children if they ever had anybody touch them and approach them inappropriately, and look for the look in their eyes, and look for the look on their faces. And during these holiday times, and families are together a lot, all different ages. If you said something like that in a room full of people, like I say, only the most accomplished liars would have a poker face. The children would crumble, and most adults would sadden at that point. And it would be apparent how rampant um, misplaced sexuality is in our societies around the world. Just that one question: who in this room has ever been touched or approached by misplaced sexuality. That could even be words, you know. And if you just said a paragraph or a sentence like that in a room full of people, from the young to the old, and look at the look on their faces, or just read their minds and tell them with your mind that you can hear their brain, and then you know, and they know, and they know you know. That's how I am. That from reading a room, when I read people, I go deep, and they know it too. There's no guessing, you know. So yeah, those were the two things on my mind today. So, important things. Too much copper in our body isn't good for us with radio waves. We'll just call them that. With the wave, rhymes with B, starts with a or a D. Um, 5 of them. Maybe going up to 6 soon. To really try and fry us out with our computerized stuff. You know, yeah, stuff is right. Funny that some of them S words start with an S like that, isn't it? Yeah. What a weird world. Just absolutely bizarre. It really is. I wonder how many doctors would recommend extra copper in somebody's life, and like they've never read a medical journal. Or at least they're supposed to read all the newsletters that come out, and nurses surely know that. You know, when a medical report comes out of some scientific finding, um, medicine is a science. You know, it's the science of the biological body, or you know, creature, depending on the species. And I'm not talking about different types of human beings. I'm just talking about like whether you're a cat, a dog, or a person, you know, that type, or a squirrel or fish, you know. Yeah. I wonder how many fish veterinarians there are out there. Um, I suppose they would call them aquatic veterinarian. Probably not a whole lot of people would specialize in that field. I'm sure there's a name for it, for the study of aquatic biology. Yeah. I try to hear everything I can on all kinds of animals and stuff. All my life I've been like that because the connection to God's plan, or was it something that was put here that isn't from here, that isn't humanoid, that they put here to make us think that it was some kind of natural thing on our earth when it probably isn't. I don't know. Yeah, maybe snakes come from underground like worms, and they were never supposed to be up here. That's probably closer to the truth. That's funny. I know a lot of people that need to go back under their rocks for real, you know. Well, I think I'll leave it there. Those were the two things I was thinking about. How many people do you know that have been annihilated in their life and never said a word to nobody, and how many kids and people are going through things right now, men, women, children, even older people, you know. Oh, that I got a couple good things on my Facebook. One of them is the WHO and what they said. You will not believe what they said. Pretty much people my age, they're really wanting us to get that voodoo crap. And what they said about the kids, you need to listen to it. They said it with their own mouths, and what the CDC is saying. I mean, it goes against just exactly what's trying to be pushed on us, isn't the reality of what is said in these organizations. So they are being misrepresented by the main media. So um, I know I didn't go too far and say anything that wasn't untrue, and I'm not giving my opinion about anything unless it has to do with God and His children. And there I'm the expert, and I'll give you my flippin' opinion anytime. So, anyway, there, I'll leave it at that, and that's for the ones that are godless, you know, or lacking there of whatever, you know, and think they're gaining something. And then too, uh, people might want to look into, and I shared what Raphael, the angel, says about what's going to happen on Judgment Day to each group of people. That's in the book of Enoch, I think, the 21st book. Um, but that I'm sure is not the only place in the scriptures that that's written. But I'll, I'll put the link to it in this video. I'll go and get that um, because it is very interesting, and then you'll just know and can prepare yourself if you know where people are going to fall in these areas, is the choices they're taking for themselves. And whether or not we wish something for somebody doesn't mean that's where they want their energy to go, is the same place. So I'll leave a link to it in this video. After I upload it, I'll go and get the time in the ULR and put it there. So I'll just put Judgment Day on there, and you'll know that's what it's about. So, all right, everybody, peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.